Hey, good afternoon. How's everybody?
Good afternoon, Professor. We're doing well.
Yeah, great, great. Sounds great. All righty. So, um, I know some of you have um, some of you have received your graded homework one back already because those who got it back, actually there were five people that got it back, only five people, because those are the people that submitted early. Before the due date of February 18th. So some of them really submitted, really early, and most of you have submitted it on the 18th. And those homeworks, I'm just, still working on them. But the ones that were submitted well in advance of the due date got obviously, first come, first served, and those homeworks had, ample time for me to work on. Actually, it's a very painstaking, it's a painstaking work because I have to actually, correct or show, correct, and comment everything, that was wrong, and also suggest my way of doing it. So it's like, uh, overhaul. It's a complete overhaul of the entire uh, homework. So it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of energy and a lot of time and a lot of resources. So it takes, please, bear in mind, um, it's a slow progress, right? So it takes a lot of time for me to actually work on them, and I have to, if I have like uh, 15 people, 15 homeworks in queue for grading, I have to work one problem at a time. So in other words, um, all the problem number ones, I do it. Uh, I do it all, for all 15 people, for 15 homeworks at the time, and then I finish I finish up number ones across all 15 homeworks, and then I move on to the second one. So I can. So it's not one person at a time. I have to do it one problem at a time across all 15 homework submissions. So it takes a lot of time. Okay. So please, bear in mind. And so the people who got them back, definitely, for them, there was a benefit of submitting early on. Okay. So in the future, when, as I said, there are five homeworks throughout the semester. And the homeworks are 40%. These five homeworks are 40% of your semester grade, meaning that what does that mean? Each homework is 8% actually. Each homework is 8% of your semester grade. Okay, so in the future, uh, please, bear in mind that the earlier you submit the homework, right, the sooner you get it back. Okay. All righty. And so is there any, we have like 14 people currently logged uh, into Collaborate, but you know very well that the first thing to do is always sign on, sign in on the discussion board, right? And so some people may forget, but please don't forget, without your digital footprint, right? Without the digital footprint of your attendance, there is no physical proof, right? So please, make sure that you sign in on the on today's forum, right? Uh, the first thing. as you join the class. Now, okay, we have only 1 hour class today, so I'm sure you have um, you need to focus and concentrate on today's lecture, because we have only 1 hour. But if you have any questions, and you may have a lot of questions, um, just don't hesitate to ask. Feel free to ask those questions, and if it obviously it will be distracting. I mean, when you're logged in um, into both, Collaborate and the lecture videos, and it will be distracting if you're trying to concentrate on the today's lecture video, and um, whatever is going on in the Collaborate can be distracting, and you won't be able to concentrate on today's video. Then, feel free to close the window. Feel free to close the Collaborate window and just concentrate on today's lecture. Okay?
Professor, hi. This is
Yeah.
Amira.
Hi.
I have a question.
Yeah, hi. Yeah, go ahead.
I was wondering if you can do the last problem of our homework, first homework. I think it was 11A.
Yeah, 11A. Okay. All righty. So I'll have to.
Down.
Okay. You were cutting out. You were breaking up a little a while ago.
It's a bank discount problem.
Yeah. Sure. I know.
Yeah.
I know. So let me pull up that file first, and let me. I'm very hungry now. So. Now, as I said previously, if you're trying to concentrate on today's lecture, and if you're getting distracted by this conversation in the Collaborate, you may close the window. You may close the Collaborate. Okay. Alrighty. So let's see. Simple interest or simple discount. All right, here's the let me share this file with you. Okay. Okay. Share application. Application window. And you should be able to see it in about do you see this on your screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. So the problem was, I copied and pasted it here. Is someone speaking? If you're not speaking, please mute your microphone. So this one, 11-2 and 11-2A, the assigned problem is 11-2A, I believe. So let me also quickly check the assigned problem. Okay, it would be 11-1. You want 2A? I think 1A will be obvious if you do 2A, right? Isn't that right?
Yes, yes, I think
yeah.
so. Because one of them is, first I wanted to ask you that when we say we buy a promissory notes is the same that we borrow it?
No. Selling promissory note is equivalent to borrowing money.
Because
Okay,
the first one it says he bought the note at the bank discount, and the second one it says he borrowed this note with the rate.
No. If you bought, you have the claim to the payment. So bank is the one at the buying end of the promissory note. Okay, a bank or a finance company, right? A bank or a financial company is the party that buys the promissory note from whom? The company who received the promissory note. Okay, is that clear?
Yes.
Because the company who received the promissory note is a company who sold something, let's say microchips, right? Or a company, usually a supplier. A supplier sells, parts and components to the manufacturer, who are the buyers, and the buyer usually, in business to business, buyer pays with promissory note routinely. Buyer doesn't pay with cash or check or with credit card, but in B2B, it's quite routine that they pay with promissory note. So the issuer of the promissory note is is obligated to pay, honor this promissory note. Usually, the recipient of the promissory note will present it. I mean, ideally, they will present it to the issuer at the end of the maturity, and they will collect the payment together with interest if possible. But usually the recipient of the promissory note cannot hold it until maturity. So what do? They sell it to the bank or the financial company. And the bank or the financial company discounts it, because they will have to take something from this. They don't pay the full face value, they discount it. And then they hold it to maturity, and then they present it to the, at maturity, they present it to the issuer, and they collect the full future value or the maturity value. Okay, that's the idea. Now, I still hear some background noise, so if you're not trying to say something, please mute your microphone. Okay, so here, let me change this thing. So in the let me change the setting according to so in 11-2A it says, from the information below, calculate A, interest and maturity value, B, discount period, and C, bank discount, D, proceeds. Okay, and the date, so according to this, the date of note is April 10th, face value 40,000. So let me enter these. So in this example, why is it? $40,000 is the face value of the note. Principal, and the interest rate is 5%, bank discount is 2%. So interest rate is 5%. Let me and I'm not gonna, yeah, I've left it blank. And discount rate is 2%. Okay. So let me, and then I'm gonna use, think about it, T0. I'm gonna use, a separate box for the calendar dates, because date on the note is what? Date of the note is April 10th. So this is time 0. This is when the note was issued, right? Promissory note was issued. So I'm going to change that to April 10. And the year doesn't matter, because automatically it's going to pick, if when I enter 4/10, it's going to automatically pick the current year. Previously, when I made this example, it was 2017, so it was 2017, but it doesn't really matter. Now, and then and the length of the note is 170 days. Then think about it. If I enter, 170 here, right? G55 plus 170, right? Then it's going to give me September 27. Okay, and then so maturity value will be, this is actually not this problem, actually although I put the this table up here, it's just for the just to make it compact, but it has nothing to do with this problem. So let me, but it's getting in the way, so let me just move it out of our site. Okay, so that means, our the duration, or the length of this promissory note is, we already know it is 107 days. We entered it there, but we need to express it in years. So what do? I will simply subtract the maturity date from maturity date, the first date, right, of the note. And of course, that will give us 170 days, but in years, I will divide it by 360, because unless otherwise specified, it's always ordinary interest here. Okay, unless the problem specifically stated to use exact year, it is always ordinary year. Okay, so, and then that's 170 days, but it will give us, the time in the length of the note in partial years, right? Fraction of years. Then we can find future value already, or the maturity value. Future value or the maturity value, right? And because it's got 5% interest, we simply, multiply it by 1 plus R times T. Okay, so that is part A, and I will call it future value or maturity value, right? Slash, maybe slash maturity value. Or just, okay. Now, next thing is, so date of discount, June 10th. So what does that mean? The company was holding it until June 9th, but it couldn't hold on to it anymore. The company needs a cash flow, and this is not this is liquidity, but it is not cash, right? So they took it to the bank and sold it on June 10th. So I will enter. Okay, so that's time one. Okay, understand? You have basically you have the initial time, which is time zero, and that's when the note was issued, right? And this is the maturity, right? A terminal time, uppercase terminal time, maturity, which could simply be calculated by adding 170 days to this, right? And then we have time one, which is the date when they took the promissory note to the bank and sold it, or they discounted it, right? So then the discount period is what? Isn't discount period T, uppercase T, the terminal time minus T1? Isn't that right? That's the period during which this, for which this note is discounted, right? So that will be, right? This is the discount period. And we already know, then what do? All you need to do is, all we need to do is, we got to start with, equal sign. We got to always start with the equal sign, because without equal sign, it's not going to work. So we're going to take the difference between terminal time and T1, right? And then that will give you a number of days, but then we must divide it by ordinary interest here to turn it into years. In other words, it must be expressed, time must always be expressed in years, right? So therefore, now that's the discount period, and then the bank discount. What it's asking for is actually, Part A was asking for future value and interest, right? We know the future value. This is future value or maturity value, and the interest is the difference between the two, right? So by answering Part A, Part A is already answered. We know maturity value is this, and the interest is this minus principal, right? Maturity value minus principal. Now, this is not interest, but from time to time it can be interest or it can be just bank discount. What is bank discount? Bank discount, Part B is bank discount, which is or simple discount, which is what the bank takes, right? Which is what the bank takes. So banks cut, and we already know bank discount is then what is it? This maturity value times discount rate times T, right? The discount period, okay? And then what is the proceed? D stands for proceeds, right? That's what you get, right? So in other words, they break this up into bank's cut and your cut, right? Then proceeds will be obvious. You sold this promissory note to the bank, and bank takes this and they give you the difference between the two, right? Okay, and this can be done also either this way or another way. Another way is you can calculate discount first. You can calculate the proceeds first. Proceeds, right? You can calculate D first, right? Which is, what? Future value times 1 minus discount rate times, oh, discount rate is, I'm sorry, this is the discount rate, okay? Discount rate times discount period, okay? It would have still given the same thing. Of course, we get the same thing, right? But what's the difference? In row 59, we found bank discount first and then uh, subtracted that from maturity value, and we got, in other words, we took the difference and then we arrived at this, right? That's what we did. But in this case, we calculated proceeds first, and if that's the case, bank discount is the simply the difference between the two, isn't it right? It's the difference between the two. Okay. Still, we arrive at the same conclusion, arrive at the same result. And then, what is the effective interest rate? Effective interest rate is basically for this you're paying. This is your interest you're paying to the bank, isn't it right? This is the interest you're paying to the bank, right? For borrowing, for not borrowing, but for getting this money, right? So it's like interest you pay for getting this for how many days? For 0.3 year. So so basically you divide that by, this is like principal. Okay, it comes to 2.01%. Okay, so is this this is still slightly greater than discount rate, because effectively you're paying this much interest. You're paying this much interest for getting this, right? So the interest you're paying is effectively greater than the discount rate, okay? And this is the important, this is the reason, this is very critical that you have to use 2 to 3 decimal places, because if you don't use 2 to 3 decimal places, suppose, and for people that already submitted and who got the graded homework back, they got the comment that you use 2 to 3 decimal places, because if you don't use 2 to 3 decimal places, suppose it is suppose if you leave it to Excel is set to always round it to an integer, and if it is rounded to an integer, then you don't see the difference between the two. What difference do you see? If it is rounded, there is no difference. And then if there's no difference, then how can you tell there is effective interest rate? Well, the purpose of showing effective interest rate is to show that there is a difference between the discount rate and effective rate. Make sense? And if you fail to show the difference, then you fail the test. In other words, you failed the purpose of doing this. You failed the purpose. If you fail to show the difference, you fail the purpose of effective interest rate. That's why you have to always, by default, use 2 to 3 decimal places. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yes, Professor.
Actually, okay, all right, great. Actually, you know, I think this first row was for this problem, right? This first row was for this problem, 11-A1A. And for second problem, I should have entered, you know, all these dates in the second row, because that was the that was for this 12-11-2A. Oh God, I'm exhausted. I mean, although I'm just speaking on a microphone, you know, if I'm exhausting myself. All right. If I speak softly, I hope you can hear me clearly, even if I speak softly. All right. So did that answer your question? Did it answer
Yes,
your question?
Professor. Yes,
Okay.
thank
All
you.
righty. Great. All right. You're welcome. And I see. Okay, Calvin, you said take it. Yeah, I can't help it, you know. And when I'm also, I need when I'm on empty stomach, you know, I, I get exhausted too easily. Uh, Someone said, Marianne Adelula, please, where can we find all the recordings? Uh, uh, Recordings of the, okay, if you're asking about the recording of the actual sessions, yes, the sessions, if the sessions are being recorded, this one is recorded, right? It is in the Collaborate. I don't know if you can retrieve it. Um, I can retrieve it, but I don't know if it is open to students. Um, but you can, okay. Since this one is recorded, if you want this one, I will post it. Okay, I will post it. Okay, does that answer your question? Because I don't know if you can retrieve, yeah, because I don't know if students can access the recordings in the Collaborate. You may, I don't, but you know, let me try it as a preview user or as a student, okay, as a student user, and if you can, I will, if I can, I will let you know, okay. But for now, I will post this one in the in the topics folder, okay. Uh, all right. Is there any other question? All righty. I'll do that, Mariam. And is there any other questions? If there's no other questions, I will go to silent mode and let you concentrate on today's videos. Okay. Uh, no, there will be second after this topic is over. After this topic, the second topic is over. There will be the second homework, and then there will be the midterm. Okay. Remember, uh, homeworks are 40%, so each homework is 8%, and the exams are 25% each, right? So midterm and final are 25% each, okay? All righty, so unless there's no more questions, I will go silent and let you concentrate on today's video, okay? All right, going silent.